to Adobe Animate. Let's get started. First of all, you're going to want to open up Adobe Animate. And once you do, you're going to want to go to Create New. We're going to go with HD. Set our frame rate to 24. So in animation, 24 frames per second is pretty standard. And leave the action script alone. Then hit Create. Now, right now, this is our scene. So this is where everything's going to be. But we can't really see everything right now, so I'm going to go in here and first, this is how zoomed in I am. So with the drop down menu, we can try 75, see what that looks like. 50. Alright, so let's go with 60. Up top, you'll see that there is a couple controls here. You can go to center stage, rotation tool. In case you need to draw, you can rotate your canvas. And clip content outside of stage. You don't need to worry about this. Alright, let's go over where a couple things are. For those of you who have been doing Photoshop and Illustrator, you'll see several tools that look very similar. We have our move tools, we have our transform tool, a lasso tool, some paintbrushes, eraser, some shape building, some pen tool, text tools, filling in. Then the stuff down here, you may or may not have some of these. Don't worry about it. You will definitely have the pin, and that's what we'll need eventually. But what we're going to start with is frame by frame animation. What frame by frame animation is you draw everything that we see. In later tutorials, you're going to draw the keyframes. So those are like the key important moments. And then the program is going to kind of draw the stuff in between. So it's going to do the tweening for today and our first little experiment into animation. We're going to do all the drawing. So we're going to start with a bouncing ball. We're only going to cover the things that we need for each tutorial, and then we'll just build up and see how far we can get into it. Because if I cover all the tools right now, you're going to get super lost. What we do need to know right now is where the paintbrush tool is. And that's right here, classic brush. Now, if you notice over here, in our properties, my properties just changed. The one you want to make sure that you have checked right now is use pressure. Now your size changes how big the brush is. So you can see right in the middle, it's changing in size. Lets you know kind of how big your brush is going to be when you're drawing. 14 looks good for what I'm doing. Minimum size means that's the smallest the stroke can go. So with pen pressure, it's going to go somewhere between 4 and 14. My heaviest size will be 14, my lightest will be 4. Smoothing, I put it around 30. Those are the only things we probably need right now. Your fill color is probably black. Black is fine. And that's layer 1. Alright, so the way layers are going to work in this is just like Photoshop and Illustrator. If you draw things on layers, that's where they're locked to. But now we also have a timeline. So you can see up here it says 1 second, 2 second, 3 second. So this is the amount of time, and this is what's on the layer. Right, so the first thing we need to do is set up a timing for our ball bounce. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a bouncing ball. So I'm going to double click layer 1. I'm going to call this position. Then I'm going to go back to my paintbrush, and what I'm going to do is draw draw a line going up and down. And what we're going to do is we're going to animate every other frame. So we're going to animate on 1, 3, 5, 7, so on and so forth. First, I'm going to mark my highest point, my lowest point. So up in here, we're going to have frame 1. And then the ball is going to start to drop a little. So that's 3. Picks up speed, 5. almost hits, 7, hits, 9, so it's coming back up again, 11, 13, 15, 17, 19. So if we are at 24 frames per second, at 19 frames, this is just slightly under 1 second of a loop. So now I'm going to go down to frame 1, and if I have to go out 19 seconds, what I want to do is I'm going to click all the way out to 19. Then I will right click. I'm going to insert keyframe. Alright, so here's the difference between these. If I insert a frame, it's just going to insert a blank nothing. If I insert a keyframe, it'll insert a frame identical to the last keyframe. And if I insert a blank keyframe, it inserts an important frame, but it's also blank. What I need right now is a copy of what I already have. So I'm going to insert a keyframe. Anywhere on this timeline that I click, I'm going to be able to see this. So I have my timing for my ball. What I want to do is lock this layer. And I'm also going to click this little button right here. As you notice now, it's really hard to see, but it's kind of like almost making it transparent. This is going to make it easier to animate. I'm going to add a layer. Double click the layer. I'm going to rename it ball. Make sure you go back to frame 1, because wherever frame you're on and you're drawing, that's where you're drawing for right now. I'm going to hold Shift, then right click, convert frame by frame animation, keyframe every other frame. So if you notice now down here in the timeline, on 1, 3, 5, 7, you see all these open dots? That means those are keyframes that are empty. There's nothing there yet. You see down here on position, there's a filled in dot, and there's a filled in dot over here. That means something exists, and there's artwork to work with. So I'm going to go back to this first one. Now we're going to start on frame 1 with our ball. So at frame 1, we have our ball. Now we want it to start dropping. So I'm going to advance to frame 3. And you notice I can't see the ball anymore. So now I don't know how big it's going to be or what it's doing. So what I'm going to do is turn on what's called onion skin. Onion skin lets me see in this area. You see how this, if I turn on and off right here, it's showing me a ghost image of what's happening. So with onion skin on, my ball starts to drop. Now I know basically how big my ball is, and I want to make sure that I stay roughly the same size. That might be a little bit small. I don't want to be quite as wide. What I'm going to do is get a little bit narrower, because I'm going to let kind of like it's falling, so I'm going to do a squish so that it's stretching as it falls. Now I'm going to advance myself to frame 5, and you can see that frame 3 is way up here, but we're accelerating, so we're going a lot faster, which means I'm going to stretch the ball a little bit more. Too big. You want to stretch it without making it, there we go, without making it more mass. Then down to frame 7. Now at frame 9, we're going to hit the bottom of the bounce. Something impacts, it squishes out this way. frame 11. Now what I want is my thing to really spring up, so I'm going to let it really hit hard. Advance to frame 13. I'll start getting our circle shape back. 15. Now when we start getting towards the top again, we're going to start to get a little bit closer to being that circle shape. Now I'm being a little bit messy with this, but so on this, what I'm going to do is select, edit copy, go to this last one, and I'm going to paste it. Not quite as high. Alright, now we got to test to see what this kind of looks like. Now if I press play, it does one bounce, right? And it's hard to kind of see what's happening. Let's turn off onion skin, press play. Alright, let's want to play it more times, so what I'm going to do is add in this loop effect. So now you can see this bar up here. It's saying how far do you want to loop it? Well, I want to loop it from the very beginning all the way to where we currently are. So now when I press loop, we got a bouncing ball. So now that I am happy with my general ball bounce, what I want to do is on the position layer, unlock it, text tool, and just throw in your first name. So now when it loops through, now if you notice, because I put it in that one but not in this one, it disappears for that one frame. So now that I like this, I'm going to go to File. First, we're going to save it. So save as. Notice where you're saving it. Make sure you name it something appropriate. So we got tutorial ball bounce, and then your name. Oh, you know what? Actually, for this one, let's do File, Export, Export Animated GIF. Then go to Save. And if you named it correctly, then it's just going to be exactly what you need. Documents. There you go. So I'd like for you to upload your ball bounce animated GIF.